My husband says I want to draw attention to this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Rachel Reeves looks particularly bleary-eyed this morning in Prime Minister's Question Time, seated strategically right next to the Prime Minister, all puffy-eyed, like she's been stood up on a speed date night. And Sky News is saying there was actually a tear rolled down her face. I wonder how many pensioners have had tears rolling down their faces simply because of the cold, because they can't afford to heat their homes. So, unfortunately, I don't have any sympathy with Miss Reeves. It looks like she could be for the chop, to cut a long story short. Sky News are dancing round it, saying, oh, we can't make too many assumptions, a cat might have been put to sleep, and who knows what's gone on. It could be hay fever. It could be for the bullet, because he was already talking about her in past tense. We have to thank the Chancellor for her. Well, you say that when you're sacking someone, or it's at a leaving do, don't you? I don't care, because we'll only get another duffer. She's bad. They haven't got anyone any better. That's the thing with the Labour Party. But if it hadn't got this bad, then all these people wouldn't have woken up to how bad it is. Would have just moseyed along, meandering through mission creep communism via the Tory party that were just crafty enough to keep it from view, thinking, oh, we've got a Conservative government, we should be all right. But clearly we're not all right, because we've had 14 years of basic Tory socialism. I think it could be that the wonderful Chancellor, who's cancelled the winter fuel allowance, crippled medium-sized businesses, small businesses, large businesses and corporations with income tax hikes, ruined family economies. I think she could be for the hike, and I do not shed one tear. I don't know how you feel. I can't believe anybody listening to me would actually sympathise with her plight. She's in a big job, and with a big job can come a big fall. She might not get sacked, who knows. As I say, there's no one to replace her with. We all know that, well, I'm told, should I say, that Wes Streeting is being groomed to take over from Keir Starmer. What could possibly go wrong? This is a guy with only 540 vote majority in his constituency. So basically, someone like that can run our country. That's where the system stinks. And that's why I support a party that supports direct democracy, because direct democracy gives the power, the sovereignty, the will of the people a chance to be heard. They're already doing it in councils controlled by the Reform Party. The leader of Lancashire County Council thinks that there should be a referendum on whether or not to merge these councils. I often repeat stuff like this because people watch different videos at different times. Rachel Reeves, I think, could be for the chop. Fingers crossed, but we'll only get another duffer. That's what we've got to remember. We have to tolerate the Starmer government because, let's face it, the new party that I'm hoping will be successful isn't really in a position to win. They haven't got the candidates. Another snap election will be disastrous. But I think there will be pressure on the Labour Party to do something about Keir, because there'll be pressure from the unions. He couldn't get it more wrong, but something, I've put it in comments, a rumour, not far be it from me to share rumours, a rumour said that Keir Starmer thinks he looks like Errol Flynn. So, in an effort to poo-poo such rumours, I thought I'd put them side by side to see what you think. There's young Errol, known to be of a particular persuasion but kept hidden for years because they wanted him to be a macho man. And there's Keir. I mean, if you'd had two sons and one of them got hit with the ugly stick, I think we know which one it is. There we go again. He thinks he looks like Errol Flynn, according to vicious rumours. Vicious, just vicious. These people, you've only got to look at how they love being on camera, how they love going on the TV. All these politicians, they seem to think that they're kind of second-rate film stars. Someone said to me years ago, politics is the business where you go into it if you're just not good looking enough to make it in the movies. I think he's probably right. President Trump, yet again, scores another goal. He's been having a bit of a go at Elon Musk because he and Elon have had a bit of a falling out, and there's rumours that Elon might be trying to basically establish a new centre-right political party, which would split the vote, be in a similar position to us over here. Basically, Trump has come out and said, you better watch it because we could Doge Telsa and have a look at all the subsidies. Basically, Trump said, where would he be if it wasn't for the government subsidies he's had for years? Now, it's okay that Elon's got involved politically because he's come up with some good ideas, but he's not a politician. He's an entrepreneur. He's a kind of savant in a way. He's particularly skilled in engineering, and he's been helped along by the US taxpayer. Of course he has. And I'm very grateful for the fact he's bought Twitter, because Twitter, being owned by someone who believes in free speech, has basically opened the floodgates for other platforms. Zuckerberg is wiping his nose a bit better now since Donald Trump came to office. I think we need to understand that Donald Trump has been a massive catalyst for many, many things that we can now appreciate in our own society. Because while Trump is in office, we've got a backstop to what's going on. What is also done, Trump has got a full-blown apology from Penn University for having a male on their female swim team, and he's been dumped from the team, and the awards he has won whilst being in the female team have been stripped from him, and the women's awards have been reinstated. Go President Trump. That's sensible. That's not victimisation. That's not picking on people. Because what you'll notice is with these trans athletes that have tried to win medals, it's always been someone who's transitioning to female that go in female events. You never get it the other way around, because the other way around, if it was a female transitioning to male going in male events, they wouldn't stand a chance. It also seems to be predominantly occupied, this space, by men who have been mediocre athletes, who have never done anything in their own right, in their own sport, in their own sex. And then suddenly they come into women's sports and do well. It can't go on like this, and Trump is making sure it doesn't go on like this. There's nothing more ludicrous. Okay, have a trans team, have trans athletes competing against each other. Might be a small nucleus, but at least it would be fair. It's not fair to have women training for years and years to get really good at an event, and then somebody comes along who's basically gone through puberty as a male with extra testosterone, extra strength, extra grip, extra everything, and then compete in a female event and win. It ain't happening anymore. God bless President Trump. And what you will find is, as this common sense unfolds in the US, it will ripple across the pond to where we are, thankfully. And yet again, John Sopel, newsagents with Emily Maitlis, complaining about Keir Starmer. The best thing is that Chris Rose has managed to salvage some tweets from earlier on when Keir Starmer was elected. I wonder how John Sopel feels now after this tweet was resurrected by Chris Rose. John Sopel put out on the 5th of the 7th last year, I don't want to do the whole prophetic fallacy thing, but as Starmer drives to Downing Street, the sun comes out. What a contrast to May 2022 when Sunak launched the election campaign. He thinks the sun came out when Starmer drove to Downing Street. But today, so he puts, the political ineptitude and mismanagement of this is epic, talking about the government's delay on the welfare reforms. The Downing Street operation and the DWP should be hanging their heads in shame, and truly disastrous for Keir Starmer and what's left of his authority. Oh, he's changed his mind, hasn't he? He doesn't seem just as keen. Oh, what a shame. See, the trouble is, I don't actually think that cultural Marxists like cultural Marxism, do they? So, what can we do with that? And then, earlier that day, newsagents, the online outfit that he works for, they've actually posted, the greatest threat to people in the UK is disinformation. People are being radicalised online in days. Radicalised because they get access to a counter narrative, unlike the stuff that you've put out this last few years. Yeah, right, we all saw what you put out. That's why the country's in a bloody mess. So, apparently a difference of opinion is now radicalisation. Yeah, like that stupid docudrama. It wasn't a docudrama, it was a drama with, what's he called, Little Scouser. All right there, our kid. He was in it with curly hair, about a radicalised young lad who went to the far right. Yet we all know where radicalisation comes from, and it certainly isn't the far right. So we are being gaslit all the time by these people, and they don't like it because the people they've been waiting for to come into power are actually buggering it up big style, and they've no excuses for them. They can't put stuff out to defend what's going on because it's indefensible. Men in women's sports, it's indefensible. We can't have it. It's not right. It's not fair. This has nothing to do with... I mean, I'm quite good friends with a transgender female who openly admits it's a problem. She doesn't try and encroach on anything to do with women. She thinks we should have our rights. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is the political drive to make us think questioning anything is the bit that's wrong. We should question anything that government puts forward. Anything they put forward, we should be able to question. And what we need is a government in power that allows those questions and reacts to them. That can see that, hang on, people are bothered about this. What are we going to do about it? What we have is, oh, don't listen to them, don't listen to them. Tell them this instead. Well, we've had enough of it. People are sick of it. Even people who aren't politically active are sick of it. A friend of mine came for coffee the other day and she said she can't watch the news. She's not politically active. She's not out on her social media pages. She puts family stuff and pictures of days out on holidays. And she's sick of it. When people like that are sick of it, we're coming to the end of whatever it is. That this drive to wokeness, this drive towards the left, towards idiotic things where you can get a job as an airline pilot because of your background or skin colour before your capabilities, that's just dangerous, and that has to stop. And it will stop. It will stop in America. He's stopping it now. And if he stops it there, it stops everywhere else because, let's face it, there are massive big employers in America. There will be corporate organisations breathing a sigh of relief getting away from DEI because it's cost them a fortune. Even the big tech giants have pulled away from it softly, quietly, no big announcement, but they're pulling away from it because it's not going to work. It's that simple. If I'm on a bus, I want someone who can drive the bus to the best of their capabilities. I don't want someone who's got the job because they fit a profile. I want them to be able to drive. Same with any other job. Rachel Reeves looks like she could be for the boot. And I'm not shedding any tears. She's incompetent. She's got so many problems. And I think what she's done to this country is utterly unforgivable. She's fast-tracked it to the abyss. So there's no sympathy from me. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. It's free. You'll have minimum advertising with me. There's only a couple of ads before I start. Can't get away from them. Actually, I was watching one other day, waiting to click on one of my own videos, and it was one of those games, you know, and it goes da-da-da-da, and it's somebody like knocking kings down in castles, and I start watching it, and the guy that's doing the ad says, oh wow, I've been playing for 6 hours and no advertising. 6 hours? What are you doing with your life doing that for 6 hours? I mean, it'll probably keep my attention for like 20 minutes and I'd be off. Anyway, there won't be too much of that on this channel. Don't forget to leave your views and comments in the comments section after the video because I do read them and I do try and click like to acknowledge that you've took the trouble to do it. Onwards and upwards. There's always something new. With British politics at the moment, they used to say a week in politics is a long time. We're down to hours now.